Today, this video is going to be about a force field analysis. It is a decision-making tool developed by Kurt Lewin in 1943 to help organizations adapt to change. Because you're trying to create change in your community, this tool can help you in situations where you're not sure if the change is necessary or useful, or to brainstorm elements that you might need to overcome. So this tool is like a pro and con list that will help you make the decision. And you need to start with defining what the current state of your community is, like what's happening right now, and then what is the desired state of the situation that you want to see. So be as specific and realistic as possible. So then identify the list of the driving forces that are pushing you towards change and the restraining forces that affect the situation that push against this change. And make sure that these are well researched and not just totally subjective. You can use brainstorming techniques or things like the stakeholder analysis that we already did to see about the people and groups in the community, the SWOT analysis, those opportunities and threats that are out there that can help you too, or any other methods to generate ideas. And then use the template to organize your thoughts that's on the path. And right now I'm going to let a student walk you through her experience of doing a force field analysis.
So the project that I am working on now is inspiring our community by promoting and teaching dance. The current state that I have outlined for this project is that there are little to no dance opportunities for underprivileged kids in Costa Rica. The desired state, which I outlined as the change that will be created in this project, is creating an accessible dance class once a week for kids living in Guanacaste, Costa Rica, by collaborating with local nonprofit organization and a local dance studio. The first force for change that I outlined was support from the local community. This support is from the dance studio that I'm working with, because they are allowing me to have a space for free to teach the dance classes, and then also from the nonprofit because they are giving me access to kids to teach dance too. The next force for change that I outlined was the opportunity for me and then also the two girls that I'm collaborating in this project with to teach dance. Additionally, we are encouraging performing arts in our local area. And the last force for change is allowing underprivileged kids to have new and exciting opportunities. Now, the forces against change that I outlined were: one, scheduling issues. This could be on my part or on the part of the organizations that we're collaborating with. The next one is time management. This is mostly from being a full-time student, and then also a full-time student not only in the high school that I'm in, but also at the dance studio that I dance at. So there could be little time for the classes that I want to teach. And then also communication with the organizations that I'm collaborating with. There could be communication issues, which is force against. And then the last force against is lack of teaching experience, especially because for both me and the girls that I'm collaborating with, our first language is English, and we would be teaching these classes in Spanish. So that adds to the against our lack of teaching experience. Now, the next step for this force field analysis is adding a score value to all of the forces for and the forces against change. So you're not just choosing the one that has more forces for or more forces against. In this case, they have the same amount. You're adding a value from 1 to 5 for each of the forces. So I'll do that right now. The forces for change my first one, supporting the local community, I added a value of 5 to this force. This is because this support is extremely valuable. If this support wasn't present, this project would not be feasible. So it's very valuable. So I rated that out of 5, which is the highest. The opportunity to teach dance classes, I rated that as a 1 because this project is possible without it. It's just an added benefit that me and my collaborators get by teaching these classes. For encouraging performing arts in the area, I rated that as a 2 for similar reasons. It's just an added benefit of allowing performing arts to thrive where we live, because right now it's undervalued. And then the last one, allowing underprivileged kids to have new opportunities, I rated that at a 4 because that is the main goal of our project. So that one should have a high rating. For the forces against the change, I rated scheduling issues at a 2. This is an issue, but scheduling also, and then I will say this again, for time management, is one of mine and my collaborators' strengths. So we are able to create it around our schedules and really communicate to create the best schedules for this project. So time management, again, it's a 2 because, of course, I have a lot of work with school and dance, but also I'm able to cut out the time I need for this project. Communicating with the organizations is a 4 because communication issues can be one of the biggest reasons that a project doesn't fully work or isn't fully successful. So that is a big force against the change. And then the last one, lack of teaching experience, is a 1 because we're going to be learning as we go, and we have support from local dance teachers that can help us with this obstacle. So then I added up both the driving forces and the restraining forces separately. So driving is 12 and restraining is 9. And because driving has a higher value, I am going to go ahead and do this project, or take this as a positive of doing this project, because there is more forces towards the change.
So once you have your chart filled out, and just like Hunter did in her example, she analyzed the results and identified which way to go forward, to either go forward or not to go forward. And then after that, she would develop an action plan so that she could increase those driving forces or decrease the restraining forces. So one of the big issues that she was thinking about was that she might have some time management or communication issues. And so she can really get in front of those and create a great time management plan for her to make sure that she could do this a couple hours every weekend, and that the studio would be open for her. So, let's see. I think that's about it. I think also remember that it's not about how many things you have in each of the columns, that it is about the weight of those in the columns. That's why you do the sum total of them at the end. So this can really help reduce the impact of change and the resistance to that change in your community. So go ahead and fill one out. Thanks.